J. Cole. And so we did not pod yesterday because we were busy streaming the J. Cole Madison Square Garden one night only concert.
Now, we had hoped to be in the building.
Right.
But we were not able to make that happen. Nor did J. Cole send us tickets. So
correct.
So we did the next best thing and live streamed it.
Yeah. Paid the little $20, you know what I mean? And let me come up here and say I will probably be doing a review on J. Cole's podcast, Inevitable Season 1, because to get the concert, I had to put my foot in my mouth and pay for, the content. So that was the deal for those who don't know, because I don't think everybody knew that. But if you bought the digital anniversary edition of 2014 Forest Hill Drive and season 1 of Inevitable, the quote unquote audio series, you got a code when the time came so you could stream the event via the platform that they use to do all of this.
Not only that, there's 8 new songs that
there are 8 new songs
you now
on
have access to.
Huh?
I said that you now have access to because they're
correct. Yeah. So
digital release
of the anniversary, right? So I have access to 8 new songs and the podcast. So we'll probably come up here at some point and review the podcast and talk about it because I believe in password sharing. You know what I mean?
I don't know what's going on with Vigilante Dash today, but
seem like you're struggling.
Y'all bear with me. It's been a day, a week, a year.
All right. So we watched J. Cole.
Just trying to keep it together until we get to 2025.
Okay. What did you think of the streaming experience?
I was just gonna say real quick, don't you love it when people make it seem like the clock strikes midnight in the new year and everything is gonna change?
Yes, those people are interesting, and that's all I'll say at the moment.
I do. What did I think about the concert? I thought it was wonderful. I had a good time. I had a blast from beginning to end. The DJs were cool. The DJs did their thing. The first one came out, and he said that he was asked to play, to do a bit of an homage to New York hip hop, old school New York hip hop, and that's what he did. He did what he came to do. Second DJ came and said he was doing it for the ladies. I said, all right now.
And he definitely did.
He did it for the ladies. He did. You saw everybody in the crowd getting up off their feet, guys and girls alike. Everybody getting up, doing their little two-step, doing a little serenade.
Right.
I thought it was fun to watch all the people in the audience as well. Before we get to J. Cole, I think it's really funny to watch stuff like this and see how the audience looks because, man, so many women just went there because their boyfriends wanted to
go. They weren't interested, huh?
They weren't interested. Yeah.
They're like, when's no role models coming on? That's all I care about.
They be like, oh, a concert that I could post to the gram and say we had a date night.
Absolutely.
What that was. TikTok content? Yes, please. That's what that was.
Absolutely.
But, no, I thought it was really cool that he said, man, fucking opener.
Right.
Right to it.
Right. Because we were talking and we were like, but who you think is going to open though?
Right.
J. Cole opened.
J. Cole opened for himself. I thought the set design was cool. That he basically redid the album cover.
Right.
I thought
that's what he did when the original 2014 Forest Hill Drive tour was going on as well.
Now I hope y'all didn't go and meme him after he did his little slip and slide.
He said, shit, I almost ended up on World Star.
Right. Which I thought was really funny. He did not go back up. I remember saying he's not going back up there.
And you were right.
He did not go back up there after that. And I wouldn't have either.
Right. Because why risk that?
Right. I thought he was on fire. I thought he did great. I thought he sounded great. I really enjoyed it. I don't know all of the songs. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't. Um, but I had a blast. I had a good time. I keep saying, with all of the J. Cole movement right now, with him adding stuff to streaming and um, him doing this concert, it's really made me want to be a better fan and go back, you know, and respect what came before I got here. So,
Right.
uh, so that's my
When would you say you became a J. Cole fan? If that's not too invasive to ask.
I don't really know.
Like, what's the first full project you listened to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up. I don't know I honestly don't even know all the titles of the albums.
So it's Sideline Story is the first album that came after the three mixtapes. Then it was Born Sinner, which is the album where Power Trip was the first single. That's the song with Miguel. Got me up all night.
I know what Power Trip is. I'm trying to think, is that when I first started listening?
Then after that was 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Then after that was For Your Eyes Only. Then it was KOD. Then it was, I always forget the name. The Off Season. Hey, there you go.
I think it was For Your Eyes Only.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got, and I've said this before, like, I'm not up here trying to pose as something I'm not. I'm just here to do what I'm to do here. So, hop is a secondary genre to me. And it doesn't mean that I don't love hip hop. But, yeah, when it comes to certain artists, I definitely got some work to do. So, this was a good way to put it in front of me, and I'm intrigued. I was like, ooh, and let me be clear, I know some of it, right? Like, it's not that I was listening and I was like, huh, what is he talking about? No, I know a lot of it, but I was like, man, I should go back and like listen to his bodies of work in their entirety.
Right.
And kind of allow the music to tell the story, right? Because
Right.
even when he spoke about where he was and where he was writing the music and all of that,
The Muhammad Crib classics.
yes, there's a journey that he's been on, and I feel like when you listen to music in chronological order, you're able to immerse yourself in that journey. So,
right.
That's why I like to go back. But I know the diehard's gonna kill me in the comments. Like, then why are you even speaking? But
no, I don't think we spoke about that before. I don't think it should be that way. I don't think there's anything wrong with discovering the person when you discover them. There are artists who I knew none of their projects until they passed away or 20 years later, because you discover things when you discover them. You don't know what you don't know until you realize, hey, I don't know. And so I'm a firm believer in there's nothing wrong with going back. I think the problem comes when you try to talk shit to the people who really do know, right? Like, if the first time I ever listened to Eric B. and Rakim was in the year 2000, I can't be talking shit to the people who was listening to him in 88. Them in 88.
Yeah.
So I think that's where people kind of end up playing themselves, because they kind of act like, yeah, I've been a fan. I know all the fly shit. I know everything. And then you ask them a question, they're like, I'm sorry, what was that? Is that a song? When did that happen? I don't know. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, I've said here before, and I told you off pod, I definitely implore you to go back into the old records and see what that sounds like. Because now with it all on streaming, it's even easier.
And maybe I could turn it into a little weeknight content series. We'll see.
There you go. That's one way to do it. So this was awesome for me. I actually tried to get a $1 ticket. I'll be honest with the people up here. I tried to get a $1 ticket. I even had a friend of mine go who lives not too far from Irving Plaza. By the time they got there, it was all too late. And I was on a train when they told me it was too late, and so
Yeah.
we tried, but we failed. And so I thought about getting a ticket, but the tickets were pretty expensive due to the resale, which J. Cole spoke about. He said F the resellers.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's right. People didn't like that $1 shit. Plenty of people are upset about the $1 ticket holders. But
You think
2014 people got in for $1.
$1. And you know what I'm gonna say about that? And I think people don't think about this, but you had you had the access, not you, but them had the access to be able to pay whatever the retail value of the ticket was.
And you could have bought tickets when they first were announced.
That's what I'm talking about. Those people who had tickets and got mad at the dollar ticket people.
Oh, I thought you meant the
That's
people
what.
who didn't get to go.
No, I'm talking about the people who did go and got upset that people got tickets for $1. Realize your privilege in that
Oh
you
yeah, you didn't
can
have to pay $500 for the bleachers.
right. You could pay whatever you wanted or whatever you felt was the right thing and be in the building. I'm sure there are people who got tickets for $1 who otherwise wouldn't have been able to go to the show.
Right.
So, take the loss. And honestly, it's not a loss. You won because you got to go to the show. So,
Right. Yeah.
and got your money's worth.
It was a great show. So let me get to it. The DJs both did their thing. I will say that first DJ, it was a lot of bias showing. He did an entire Dipset set,
Mhm.
but Brooklyn got like two songs, and then there was a whole Queen set. I was really confused, but clearly he was being biased, and that's okay. Um, it still was great music. It still was great to hear all the New York tunes from throughout the years. Second DJ came up and said, "Hey, I'm only here for the ladies," and he did a phenomenal job of running through a bunch of women-based records, women-focused records. I thought that was awesome. Yep, like you said, people were booed up and serenading each other and dancing. It was a good time. Great way to warm up the crowd. I'm very shocked nobody opened for J. Cole, but I ain't mad at 2 hours straight of J. Cole. It was phenomenal. And I like that he kind of stuck to the same format as when he was on the tour 10 years ago or 9 years ago, whatever it was, where after Sandro Pay kind of goes into some of the other records to kind of get you back hype again for when GOMD comes on. GOMD comes on, excuse me. I thought that was awesome. Uh, Listen, hearing those old school joints, those throwback J. Cole joints was awesome. Um, it was a privilege to be able to witness that. He did all three records of Two Face. Man, it was just such a great experience. I would have loved to be there. But it was pay my rent and buy Christmas gifts or go see J. Cole. And I'll be honest, I thought about it, but the one person that I would have wanted to take, I couldn't take anyway on a Monday night because baby girl wouldn't have been able to go. So I opted for the stream, and man, what an awesome experience. I don't feel a minute was wasted. It was awesome. I'm glad he didn't really fall all the way down that thing and caught himself slipping because it'd have been a bad experience and the concert probably would have had to end right there. So I'm glad that he was able to catch himself, and he made fun of himself even in the midst of it. I love that he actually did the last song on the project, the credits. Note to Self is the name of the record. I thought that was awesome. I said, "Oh, okay, even gonna give us that this time. All right,
And
I am pleased.
he basically said, if you want to leave before I do this, you
It's
can.
fine, right?" Because that's also what he says in the record. If you go and listen to the last song on 2014 Forest Hills Drive, it says that. He says, "This the credits. These are roll credits. If y'all made it this far through the album, I appreciate y'all. If you leave now, it's okay. Feel free. But for everybody who really fuck with me, we about to run through the credits. And it's like 13 minutes long or some shit. He shouts out everybody involved with the project, and it's hilarious the way he does it. But Yeah, so it was great to see Cole in all his glory, seeing him run through all of these songs that have catapulted his career throughout the year. I mean, he did Grown Simba, he did Who Dat. I mean, he gave us the what he calls the Muhammad Crib classics, and I thought that was fly because a lot of people don't know that unless you've watched some of the documentaries that he's put out.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I thought this was really cool. And I'm just happy that it was available. I think people today, and I want to say this will be the last thing I say. I think people today fail to realize how privileged we really are. Um, Before, if you were unable to go to a concert, you just were unable, right? You just missed it. And you had to hear about it later on. Oh man, Dash, you should have been there. It was so crazy. They did this and this. Oh man, he did the Muhammad Crib classics. It was crazy. And you just be mad that you missed it and think to yourself, I'm going to try to get to the next one. But today we have this ability to stream right from our devices. I mean, it's crazy fly.
Yeah.
Some people have deals with companies like we've seen Amazon Prime doing a lot of stuff with Prime Video,
Mhm.
lots of concerts today, including last Dreamville Fest earlier this year was available to stream on Prime
Mhm.
Video. And I think that's an awesome thing. This time Cole was able to do it with a different company. But point is, I think people fail to realize how fly that truly is, that we can still experience it. We don't have to just miss it. Like earlier this year when Kendrick did the pop out, a lot of us saw it via streaming. Most of us that I know saw it via streaming. That wouldn't be possible a couple of years ago. And so it's cool. And so I think that's a blessing. And I think that just shows you how fortunate we are that we're able to do it. And I feel like a lot of people today are kind of sleeping on that.
Yeah. Um, I mean, access has definitely changed, right?
Yep.
It's easier. It's easier to. It's easier to get things. It's easier to get content, and it's easier for artists, especially an artist like J. Cole, who really cares about his fans.
Right.
I feel like it matters to him that, case in point, the dollar tickets, the live stream. I think
Right.
it matters to him that people have that access to him. That even though he was doing a one night only show,
Right.
that people were still able to see it. You know,
Yep.
and it wasn't done in a way where it was elitist and just for show. It was like, if you fuck with me, then there's a way for you to get this.
Yeah. Also, a
That's
really
what I
smart
see
way to
now.
make more money
Yeah, of course,
because he got $20 from everybody who streamed it.
and promote his show because um, it's behind a paywall. So
Yep.
bundling it with the live performance was, I mean, that just makes so much sense. You know?
Yep. I
So,
agree.
so I say good for him. I feel like he's in a good space. I'm not, yelling at him anymore about, taking a break. I think this is,
Right.
I think he's primed and ready to go for 2025. I just feel like
It
he's
seems that way.
he's preparing for what's next. You know.
Right. Right.
So I like that. I'm excited to see. Um, I'm excited to see how his 2025 looks.
Yeah. Same. Um. Yeah. I'm done there.